You are now listening to the Flurry podcast hosted by Marquise Rawls.
Another episode of the Flurry podcast, and I'm fresh off the Dillan Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin fight. And it was a good fight, and as I predicted, Dillan Whyte won. So bring me my money. I need my money. I bet money on this fight. Bring me my money. But I'm pretty sure everyone already knew that Dillan Whyte was going to win. He was the favorite to win in the first fight, and he was winning every single round in the first fight until that well-placed, well-set-up shot by Povetkin landed, and it ended the fight. But I already knew second fight, Dillan Whyte, he'll be a little more cautious. He could still come with the same game plan because the game plan was working in the first fight. He just needed to just be aware, a little bit more alert, and not get hit by those big punches, which he did a really good job at. His footwork looked good. He always got a good footwork. His jab was okay. I think he could have used the jab a little bit better, a little bit more, to set up some shots, because some shots he was throwing, they were big and wild and a little sloppy. But if he would have just used his jab a little bit more consistent, I think he would have did it in better fashion. Even though the knockout was a good knockout, it was a really, really good knockout. And like I said, he was favored to win. But I have to mention, that Povetkin, he didn't look 100% in this fight. Now, I don't know if the time between their last fights, if Father Time caught up to him that quick and called his phone, boom, it's your time today. Or if he was drugged backstage, Is there some foul play going on with Povetkin? Some foul play? Round 2, Povetkin was stumbling all over the ring, and the commentators tried to play it off saying, oh, it's all that heavyweight and that force and that sheer velocity that they're all throwing with those punches is making him stumble all across the ring. No, the fuck it wasn't. He was trading with Dillan Whyte, and neither one of them was landing any significant punches. They wasn't even really landing. I don't even think a punch was landed in that trade. But he just couldn't keep his balance, and he was stumbling left, and he stumbled right, then he fell back into the ropes doing a little shimmy shake. And I'm looking like what the hell is wrong with this guy? What is wrong with his legs? So it seemed like he didn't have his legs together. Like I said, I don't know if it's just Father Time finally sent him that DM, said it's your time, or if it was some foul play, or maybe he exerted a little bit extra energy in his training camp and he wasn't fully rested and prepared for this fight. I'm not sure, but from my eyeball test, he didn't look like he was 100%, which did make it a little bit easier for Dillan Whyte, because the counters that Povetkin usually throws, they wasn't coming. The jab, and Povetkin's not really known for his jab, but he could have a good jab when he uses it, wasn't really coming. So it wasn't an easy fight for Dillan Whyte. It's never an easy fight when you're fighting someone as high talent as Povetkin, but when they are not 100% and you come in with a good game plan and you are just naturally the better fighter, which I believe Dillan Whyte is, it's going to look like you cruised through the fight, which it looked like Dillan Whyte, he cruised through the fight. Good fight, though. I recommend it. And after the fight, Dillan Whyte said he wants to fight Deontay Wilder, which I will be excited for. We have not seen Wilder since his devastating loss to Tyson Fury, which I don't want to speak about. I have said in the past that I don't think Wilder should try to get a trilogy with Fury. I believe that what he should do, and this is just me, I'm no promoter, I'm no manager, so I don't know what the best career move for him is. The only person who will know that is a boxing expert and Deontay Wilder himself. But in my hearty, unsolicited advice, I believe that he should fight another big name like a Dillan Whyte or like a Joseph Parker or like a George Joyce, someone who has a name or, who's been getting some attention in the heavyweight division and work your way up to be a mandatory for the winner of Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. It will literally only take 2 fights, because imagine if Wilder fights Dillan Whyte. I think he could beat Dillan Whyte. From this last performance from Dillan Whyte, it was good, but it wasn't enough. Deontay Wilder, even though a lot of people criticize him for not being a good boxer, for not having good ring IQ and everything, for not having solid fundamentals and everything, one thing Deontay Wilder has is the power, obviously, but he has pinpoint accurate timing. If you go back and look at a lot of Wilder's highlights, a lot of his knockouts, it comes when he times his shot and throws it while someone else is punching, right when the opening happens, when someone's throwing a big punch and he times it and comes right in between your punch and he knocks you the hell out. His timing is impeccable. The way Dillan Whyte fought in this fight against Povetkin, I think Wilder knocked him out in 4. Hell, no, yeah, I'll keep it at 4. Knock him out in 4. If Wilder, don't even get me started, if Wilder uses his jab, then it's really over. Then Whyte really has no chance if Wilder uses his jab. So I think Wilder will win that fight, but it will still be a good fight. Explosive power, a lot of tension and energy, because Whyte has been trying to get that fight for some years now. No explanation why the fight hasn't happened, but I think it should happen this year. It could happen this year. Hopefully it does. Fingers crossed. So some other things I've been reading about. Oscar De La Hoya made an announcement that he's having a comeback fight July 3rd. My first thought was, he's really serious about this. That was my first thought, because I know he's been talking about a comeback fight for a couple years now. And I remember last year when there was talks about him having a comeback fight against Triple G, and I made a whole segment, an entire segment dedicated to calling Oscar De La Hoya a delusional fool if he comes back and fights Triple G. But luckily now, I'm not hearing none of those talks. The person that he plans on fighting is TBA, to be announced, undisclosed information. Nobody knows who it is. It could be a bum. It could be a bum from the F train in New York City. Who knows? It could be some homeless man he just found in a trolley in San Francisco. We have no idea who this fighter is. What if it's a YouTube fighter, huh? What if he's announcing he's fighting Logan Paul or KSI? Wow. Wowzers. But hopefully he chooses a fight that's, something good for him. Knowing Oscar De La Hoya, he's going to want to fight someone that's a real challenge for him, someone that is really going to push him to the limits. But I don't think he's going to want to choose someone who could really destroy him. And hopefully he don't choose no young fighter neither. Hopefully he choose a fighter that is, first of all, what weight class will he fight at? Will he fight at middleweight? Because I know damn sure he not making no 147. I know damn sure he not making no 154. So I could assume middleweight, super middleweight, or maybe there's no weight class. It's just going to be a regular solid exhibition against another retired legendary boxer. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just speculating, right? But July 3rd, Oscar De La Hoya. If it's pay-per-view, I'm not watching it. Point blank period. If it's pay-per-view, I'm not watching it. And the last news before I close it off is I'm watching the Ak and Barak show on DAZN. And if you don't watch the show, it's a really good show. I recommend it. They had an episode where they had Terence Crawford as the guest, and Terence Crawford was asked the question about the Errol Spence fight, as everyone is doing. Every single person who sees Terence Crawford, down to the person who's serving his coffee at the coffee shop, they asking him about the Errol Spence fight. And they said if you are offered a 50-50 split with Errol Spence, will you take the fight? And Terence Crawford said, I don't know, not necessarily. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yo, I don't like what I'm hearing. I don't like what the fuck I'm hearing. This is arguably the biggest fight, or at least one of the biggest fights in boxing that can be made right now. This has the potential to be one of the greatest welterweight fights of all time in the history of boxing. You gonna sit there and say you don't know if the fight's gonna happen? Yo, I don't like what the fuck I'm hearing, man. I don't care. This fight needs to happen. Terence Crawford, I would personally give you everything in my bank account for you to accept this fight. If Errol Spence offers you a 7-30 split, accept it. Just accept it. And the difference, I would personally take out a multi-million-dollar bank loan and give it all to you just so the fight can happen. That's how much I want. That's how much I need this fight to happen. I need it to happen. Anything you want 35 million, I'll go to the bank right now. I will remortgage the entire state of New York and give it to you. I will write personal letters to Jeff Bezos and every single billionaire in the world to see if they could just give you the difference. I will find a way to get you the money. I just want you to take the fight, and Errol Spence, that goes for you too. Take the fight. Don't talk to me about no goddamn Manny Pacquiao. Don't talk to me about no goddamn fucking Sean Porter rematch. Don't talk to me about no Yordenis Ugas. Even though I like Ugas. I like Manny Pacquiao. I love me some Sean Porter. I do. I don't want to see that right now. I want to see Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence clash. Because that is literally, for all the Dragon Ball Super fans, that is literally Jiren, however the hell you say it, versus Goku Ultra Instinct. That's literally what it is. It's the two strongest motherfuckers in the universe. Or, in this case, the 147-pound division. Going at each other, and you don't know who's going to win. One person has been out here just crushing and demolishing everything with ease. There's not one person who has consistently given this man a challenge for the entirety of a fight, the entirety of a 12-round fight. Every single person he has fought, he has either demolished since round 1, or midway through the fight, he has found and crafted a strategy to outclass them for the remainder of the fight. Every fight he's in is lopsided because he's that great of a talent in Terence Crawford. And then you have Errol Spence, who's out here. He loves fighting. I know he loves fighting. He's excited for these big fights, and he fought some tough challenges. People who took him to the deep ends of the water, but he came out victorious. He comes out victorious every single time. He overcomes any odds or obstacles put in his way, and he goes to the next level of superiority and wins. And Errol Spence. Those two need to fight each other. The only person that could beat Terence Crawford is Errol Spence. The only person that could beat Errol Spence is Terence Crawford. And you will be robbing me. You will be robbing the fans, the culture, the universe. There are little Martian motherfuckers on Mars who want to see this goddamn fight. They're setting up satellites right now. Elon Musk knows about it. Ask him about it. They're setting up satellites in Mars so they could get connection, and they have their pay-per-view money ready. You ever seen a Martian dollar? You want to see a Martian dollar? Set this fight up then. You will see all the Martian dollars that you want. Set the fight up. Stop playing with me. And I don't care if this fight doesn't happen, it will forever be an asterisk on both of their careers for me. Both of their careers, fantastic, Hall of Fame worthy if I do say so myself, but there will be an asterisk next to both of your careers if you two do not fight each other. That's all for the podcast. I'm out. Peace, King.
You were just listening to the Flurry podcast hosted by Marquise Rawls. Come back for the next episode or go back and listen to the previous ones if you haven't done so.